Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lap Classic Remastered. This time we'll take a look at the 1999 Saleen SR Widebody. One of the more interesting GT race cars in all of Gran Turismo. I'm a big fan of the Saleen SR Widebody. So for those of you who don't know what this is, Saleen basically makes performance versions of Fords. Mostly Mustangs, Saleen Mustangs, you've sort of seen them. Trying to remember, the S281 I think is their sort of more ubiquitous model, if you will. Very cool looking thing. And so they make these performance Mustangs. Sometimes they put custom bodywork onto it, but mainly they're sort of built to go racing. And in the mid 1990s, Saleen found quite a bit of success running in SCCA, and they actually partnered with, unlikely enough, you might see some of the logos going around here, the sort of pyramid logos that look a little bit weird. Those actually say Home Improvement on them, because this car was raced in collaboration with Tim Allen. I think it was Saleen Allen Speed Lab was the name of the racing team. And so they raced Saleens, and in fact Tim Allen drove for them, and I think he even won races and maybe even championships with them as well. So they ran these Mustangs in SCCA, they were very successful there, and they thought, let's have a go at ALMS. And of course they didn't just show up with a normal Mustang, they showed up with this, with the improved front aero package that I do think looks very, very cool. They did make a road car. Unfortunately, they never put an engine or any running gear in it, but they did make a road car version of this. I would love to have a road car version of the SR Widebody just because it looks absolutely mad. I'm a big fan of this vehicle. Now, in terms of how this is going to run around the track, I'm not too sure. We haven't really had a whole lot that's comparable to this. I guess, like, we just sort of set a target like the Shelby Cobra Daytona and go from there and see how much quicker it can go. There is the 300ZX GTS, the GT500 car, but I don't think this is going to be anywhere near that level of performance, but I guess we'll find out. Front engine, rear-wheel drive, 649 horsepower, 1,180 kilos. Mustangs haven't been necessarily that quick around here, but this one could surprise us, who knows. The Saleen SR Widebody is going to have 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader is the Suzuki Cultus Pikes Peak version. That car set a time of 26.540. The Saleen SR Widebody is unlikely to beat that. Now, as I mentioned, I'm just going to say like Cobra Daytona, I think that's set like a 29.6, and we'll sort of go from there. 300ZX GTS set a, what was it, a 28.4. I think 28 is going to be a bit unobtainium for a car like this. I'd imagine low 29s. I mean, if it can beat, I don't know, like Copperhead LM did okay. I think that was like a 28.7 car, so maybe we could potentially be going against that. So far, though, I have to say, this drive's quite nice. It actually does, oh, well, put the corner a little bit too much there. It does remind me a little bit of driving the 300ZX GTS in a way. Like, it sort of has that. It has a lot of power and rear-wheel drive, and it does spin the tyres, but because the tyres are quite big, one would imagine, it actually deals with the power pretty darn well, considering sort of the size and the heft of this vehicle. And that was a very clean way around that, I don't know if it was quick, but it was clean. Bit of wheel spin on the way out there, 28.4. So this is definitely a 28.4 vehicle, and that was definitely not the cleanest of final sectors in this thing, so it is going to go a little bit quicker. A little bit on the grass there where I didn't really want to be, and completely missed my turning there. Got Mustang. It is a tricky, I don't know about this, it's weird. It's, so, like, obviously the sort of power delivery isn't too bad, as much as you sort of can get tempted to want to tap accelerate in this to try and keep it sort of going straight and narrow. In truth, you don't really need to do that. It handles well enough. Again, just got bit by the oversteer on the rear end of that. Come on, car. We can do it. I think this is definitely like a 28.2 car, dare I say it. If it could just sort of get its act together. Or if the guy piloting could get his act together, you know. Either or, I guess, in this case. A little bit of oversteer on the rear end of that, 28.285. I actually think that could go quicker. To be really honest, I think that could go quicker. I think it could sort of be like a 28.2 flat, almost, in this. But it's just a little bit sketchy on the rear end. I don't really know. It is... weird car, that. Like I say, it's controllable to a point. It's really quick. It's really, really fast. But it does sort of run out of grip at certain points. The fastest lap is not the fastest lap. That probably tells you a lot. Yeah, just a little bit bizarre. There's definitely... I think there's at least 0.1 in there. You could probably get a 28.1 if you sort of kept going round and round and round in it. But it's just a little bit... I don't know. It's sort of... It's lacking in low speed exit, which is sort of what you need. It does feel a little bit sort of fishtaily. Again, the power delivery is really good. It's a really good car. You know, it goes into like 32nd place, so it's very quick, but yeah, just not very confidence inspiring ultimately, but still a very quick car nonetheless. A 28.285 will place this into 32nd. Goes in between the Volkswagen New Beetle GT and the Impreza Coupe. It is quicker than the Roof CTR2, Audi S4, RX-7 GTC LM Edition, NSX GT500 car, the sleeker Wed Sports, Altezza LM. It is quicker by about 0.1 of a second over that 300ZX, so it's quick. It really is quick. Like I say, honestly, I would have loved nothing more. It drives a lot better than I expect, but it's also a little bit frustrating. I'd have loved to get this in the 28.1s and sit it with all of the other sort of racing Fords that basically own the 28.1 section of the leaderboard, but yeah, just not quite got the confidence through the corners. I definitely think that could be quicker though, but no, nevertheless, I think it is weird. It's an impressive car, but obviously I'd like a little bit more out of it, but there you go, them's the rope sometimes. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.